In this video, we are going to show you arguably the nicest 1972 Ford Mustang Mach 1 that exists on the planet. This car is owned by Fox News business analyst and host Emily Compagno. She has owned this car most of her adult life and recently had this car completely rebuilt by Innovation Performance Technologies. Notice I said rebuilt and not restored. Innovation Performance Technologies does not restore cars. They only build them. Watch this video to learn more and to see this fantastic 1972 Ford Mustang Mach 1. When you take a close look at this car, you will see the extreme detail that was put into building this car using the latest technology and performance parts, all while keeping the classic look of the original 1972 Ford Mustang Mach 1. You will see the chassis is new, every body part is new, the paint job is perfect, the engine and transmission are amazing, the brakes have massive and precise stopping power, and the interior is built to perfection. Now, let's hear from Jan Marshall, the owner of Innovation Performance Technologies, as he talks about building this car for Emily Compagno.
This is Emily's hot rod. She's owned this car for a long time. Emily's a pretty amazing person. Since she was a teenage girl, I believe she's owned this car. She's worked on it and wrenched on it herself. During that time, she went to law school. She was an Oakland Raider cheerleader. She went on to become a federal attorney. She's a pretty amazing young lady, and now is on national news on Fox News. Pretty interesting person. But she, deep down inside of her, I know her pretty well. She's a hot rodder, and this is her hot rod. She had the car repaired in upstate Washington, Seattle, Washington, where she's from. And she probably spent $40,000, and they did a bunch of work to the car. Every year we go on something called our Freedom Tour, which is part of the Hot Rod Power Tour. We go 7 cities in 7 days. It's a lot of fun, a bunch of hot rodders getting together. She actually sent the car here for us to do the tour. The tour is actually going to start here that particular year. Car got here after a lot of work had been done to it. I don't think it was actually safe to drive. We put it together enough and made some minor repairs on it so at least she could drive it. She made it about 2 days and wound up on our flatbed coming back this way. That was 2.5 years ago, and this is the result. So Emily was crazy enough to say, okay, do whatever I want with it, and I did. She had a lot of her own influence on the car as far as what the car looks like with the flames and jacked up in the back end with the wheels. It's definitely her style, not so much my style, but the car is built to our standards. It's an amazing automobile. All right, so when you're going to build one of these cars, the first thing you have to ask the person who's going to drive this, what are they going to do with the car? Emily wanted to drive this car every day. That means you have to figure out how to make this car a daily driver. Now, a daily driver is a completely different car than some hot rod you're going to throw together. Safety is the #1 thing. Safety, structural integrity. So this car, basically, we completely did the chassis as you can see in the pictures. It has Wilwood brakes all the way around. Not just regular Wilwood brakes, but the more high performance a 6-piston wheel with brakes all the way around. It has a Coyote Aluminator in it. And there's a whole story how I wound up with the Aluminator. I wasn't supposed to get it. I was supposed to get a Gen 4 or Gen 3 Coyote engine, but we couldn't make the oil pan work because of the new Aluminator, I'm sorry, not Aluminator, but the new Coyote engines have plastic oil pickups and plastic oil pans, and nobody in the market is making an oil pan for this car, so we were stuck scattering to find a brand new Aluminator. We did. Here it is. We tried to keep the radiator and all of the cooling components as stock Ford as we could get for a very simple reason. Once again, we're building a daily driver. Emily may want to drive this car to Las Vegas for the SEMA. She may want to drive it in the middle of the winter, in the middle of the summer. It doesn't matter. The car cannot overheat. It does have a 6-speed T56 transmission in it. The interior, which is pretty extensively done. The interior of this car, we'll take some shots of the interior of this car. It's got Recaro seats. The Recaro seats alone are $5 grand. The interior was custom made. The interior of this car was $11,000 when it's said and done, just for the work that was done on it. Add in the Recaros and you got a picture of just how expensive this interior was. Custom made fuel tank, fuel system, because once again you're running a Coyote, a fuel injected engine, but you want to keep it as stock as you could possibly keep. This is Emily's car, and Emily influenced a lot of things on the car. So we tried to get her personality onto the car the way she wanted it. So first things first, ex-Oakland Raiders cheerleader. If you look at the center of the steering wheel, it actually says Oakland Raider, has the Oakland Raiders sign in it. She had an artist who, down in Hollywood, put a skull on a special shifter she wanted that's her size. And if you really focus in on the Mach 1 gauges, okay, it's kind of cool, is on the speedometer in these cars, they always had a running pony or a running Mustang. It was part of the Mustang symbol. Well, we actually had the custom-made dash made. It's all digital, but the running pony is now her running Doberman Pinscher dog, which is kind of cool. Most people aren't going to catch that. It's pretty cool. But she carried that theme all the way back to the gas tank. Most people aren't going to figure out what this is, but etched into the gas cap is the profile of her dog. So she's got her dog's profile on the gas cap. She has her dog's silhouette running on the dash. Pretty cool. And then she's got the influences of the Oakland Raiders all over this car, actually. We built the car around her personality. It has more than enough horsepower. It's a cruiser. You could drive it every day. You could drag race it. You could road race it. This car just about do anything you'd want to do as a hot rod car you'd want to own. It screams Hot Wheels, if you ask me. All it needs is a chrome blower sticking out of the hood. We've joked about that quite a bit. The car is probably the nicest 72 Mach 1 Mustang on the planet.
Now that we've heard from Jan, let's take a closer look at some pictures that will show you in depth the detail of what took place while building this car for Emily. I hope you enjoyed watching this video of Emily Compagno's 1972 Mach 1. To learn more about innovation performance technology, please visit our website at www.innovationperformance.tech.